I want to give you a tale of two sort of avatars for their side. AOC for the progressive left in the House, and Lauren Boebert on the whatever that's supposed to be on the right, addressing in real time the violence that we saw in Uvalde, the continuing spree of mass shootings and school-based mass shootings just this year alone. Lauren Boebert very helpfully responded, as we covered yesterday in the show, by tweeting out, "You cannot legislate away evil," which is not a thing that anyone was asking to do. It is 100% an abdication of your actual responsibilities. It's your job to legislate at all, not in the area of evil. Now, at the time, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez responded by saying, "Why even be in Congress if you don't believe in doing your job? Just quit and let someone who actually gives a damn do it, instead of acting like a useless piece of furniture when babies are shot with AR-15s that we let teen boys impulse buy before they can legally have a beer." Now, obviously, Lauren Boebert is not going to address the ridiculous fact that we let kids have guns like this. She's going to move right past that. And she's going to respond saying, "Miss Defund the Police. Gun-free zones have proven to be deadly. Let me know when you're ready to do your job and effectively protect our schools with armed security. Let's meet and solve this." And since then, AOC has responded substantively to those points, pointing out that there were armed guards at this particular shooting, at others too, at schools. But at this shooting, there were armed guards, there were police. The school district in Uvalde has its own police department, actually. 40% of the city's budget, nearly half of their entire budget, goes to the police. They've been doing training. It was hardened, as they say they want these schools to be, training for active shooters. They had the defense, they had the training, they had the preparation, and none of that stopped so many people from being killed. And none of that got Lauren Boebert to actually think for a split second about what she was advocating for, saying that this is a gun-free zone. It wasn't. They had guards. But countries all around the world, Brett, have gun-free zone schools. Sweden, Norway, Spain, Madagascar. These are gun-free zones, and yet they're not the sites of mass shootings on a weekly basis.
Gun-free zones work, or gun-free zones don't work when someone has a gun in them and shoots people with it, right? If gun-free zones don't work, well, then someone is going to kill Trump at his NRA speech, because that is a gun-free zone. That is a story that's going around. The only place in Texas where you can't bring a gun is to Trump's speech. According to her logic, that puts Trump in real danger. And when called out for that, she'd probably say, "Yeah, sure, it's probably but it's okay because people hate Donald Trump." But like, when she says you can't legislate away evil, that on its face is a horrible logical disaster for her, because she declares everything evil and she tries to legislate that away. Critical race theory, evil, let's legislate it away.
Yep.
Any kind of injustice that we point out, they point out, they want to legislate, and they try to pass laws, and they do everywhere. Voting they think is evil, they want to legislate it away. So that doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
And what you do is you try to make things illegal, so there are higher consequences and less likelihood that someone will be able to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say that right now I wanted to get a rocket launcher. According to them, I can. It being illegal doesn't matter. If I want it, I can get it. How? I have some resources. I have a car. I could drive somewhere. I have some money. Can't get one. Can't get one. If I wanted a fully automatic AK-47, I have money. Why don't I just do it? Doesn't matter that it's illegal, right? Because that is the whole point. That is the entire point. And she doesn't have a response to any of this. No one's gonna ask her any tough questions. If they do, like in the Sky News interview, she's just gonna flee. It's because she doesn't care about any of this. She's not actually interested in stopping these shootings. She doesn't put any thought to it. She's not losing sleep. Her heart doesn't break for the children of Uvalde. This is a political game to her. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is the person who sends out Christmas cards of her tiny little kids with giant assault weapons grinning.
She thinks it's cute, it's funny. Anyway, look, she says we need more armed guards. As we've shown in this case, it didn't actually help. And by the way, studies have shown that in 197 instances of gun violence at US schools since 1999, SROs, who these officers are, intervened successfully in only 3 instances. And by the way, they found that at places that have SROs, there are more injuries when these shootings happen. I don't know exactly why that is, but that's what all of the evidence actually shows. The evidence is irrelevant because they're never going to engage with it. They will continue to call for things that literally existed at the site of the shooting they're responding to. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.